A nice connect this week with both Chad and JP on the Gimbal Builders podcast. Enjoy.
Trying to put this camera together.
Trying to put a what?
My freaking open IPC camera.
Oh, you're
Oh,
playing that game.
yeah, it's
Nice.
kind of neat. It's kind of neat. It's not like quite viable for me yet,
Yeah.
but it's close. I
Sweet.
think, yeah, it's been interesting to work with and to get a complete. I mean, does it count if you can't really use it? Probably
Yeah.
not.
Nah.
Is it just an interesting learning experience that
Yeah.
might like land on my crawler maybe?
Nice.
But if I can get the latency down, I think a lot of it has to do with like the setup, like the setup of your ground station sort of thing, and
Mm.
that can like drop your latency quite a bit. And the latency seems okay. It's not as good as like my little analog car,
Yeah, of course.
but and like the range was not very good. Like the penetration was like brutal, but I think the power is like turned all the way down on this thing out of the box.
Interesting. Is it
Yeah.
like, is it region locked to some non-FCC zone?
I wouldn't say locked. I think just default setting was, oh fuck. I thought this fan would fit here.
Was like
I think the,
CE or something.
yeah, it was just like turned down to, like I got into the config finally and I saw TX power was set to 1 and the slider was, you know, at a very low level. I was like, 1, well, that's like the minimum number above 0. So maybe I can increase that, but I didn't want to do it until I got my fan on there.
Yeah.
I was thinking the mounting, the spacing would work out right, but it doesn't look like it will.
What'd you do?
So,
Did you get the run cam kit or what'd you get?
I think the run cam looks better, to be honest. I got the Wyvern Link, the Emax one,
Oh, interesting.
because I'm building this little like micro 28th car or 20, yeah, 128th car, and I wanted something super small.
Yep.
I was like, oh, this one works on like 5 volts and should be able to get that off the receiver and this and that. It hasn't totally panned out yet, but we will pan it out. It will be panned. So, but it's pretty cool. Like the image quality is really good. And I've just been working on like how to get the image on various devices. Like how do I, make the image show up on like my TV and my phone and all these things. And actually it's been, not that bad. And it's like pretty cool because if you have like the right adapter, like it's just a Wi-Fi adapter basically, you can
Yeah.
plug it into whatever and get a picture, kind of. Like you can plug it into any sort of like Android device and get a picture out of it with the right app.
Do you know what app it is?
It's called Pixel Pilot.
Pixel Pilot. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been wanting to get an Android app that can take like USB-C in,
yeah,
and do like DisplayPort kind of things.
yeah, yeah. The app for um, DJI is a different one. It's called DigiView, and you can like then pipe um, you can connect USB-C to from your goggles V2 to your Android phone and get a video on that.
Yeah, I played with that years and years ago when it very first came out.
Yeah,
And they had a website that my buddy worked on. So there's like two groups. There's the DigiView and then Cosmos Streamer. The guy from Cosmos Streamer, I think he was like a really big contributor to DigiView, and then he kind of branched off and did his own sort of deal.
Oh yeah.
So I literally got an Android phone just so that I could kind of mess with that stuff.
Yeah, the tablets aren't too expensive. You
Yeah.
can get tablets pretty cheap,
Yep.
and they're handy. What I wanted to do, like, there's a cam or a Windows app as well to get the screen up on your PC. But these guys are like RunCam and Emacs are both like right on the cusp of releasing stuff that just natively outputs HDMI
Yeah.
or to an HDMI cable. So you just essentially plug that into whatever screen, and it's going to simplify things a lot.
Yep.
So, but yeah, it's a pretty cool project, I would say.
Hey, is my audio coming through at all?
Now it
Now you
is.
are, yeah.
Weird. Is this the first thing you've heard from me tonight?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
So
well.
Matt,
Hey guys, good to see you. How are you doing, Chad?
I,
just all right, man. How you doing?
Yeah, hanging in there.
Sweet.
oh man, Chad, you were at a funeral like the other week. I was at one like last week, man. My
Sorry, man.
grandma, my grandma passed away. It's
Roots.
crazy. Yeah, these
Yep.
things happen. Bit
Yep.
long ago.
That's good to
We'll
hear.
miss her. We'll miss her. Yeah, it's funny. You just never know. Like, when's the last time you're gonna see grandma? Fuck. Like every call is like for the last couple of years. Every time my parents called out of the blue, I was like, "Crap, is it?"
Yeah.
I hear you.
But
I hear you, man.
she was well taken care of. So
I stopped by and saw my 98-year-old aunties. Like, no kidding.
nice.
2 days ago, or like both not recently. That was great.
It's cool, man. I'm sure they super appreciate it too. Yep, definitely cannot recommend that enough.
Yeah.
Um, Especially after the past year. Uh, yep, go say what's up to everybody for sure.
I'm trying out these new Enjora lights.
Those
Oh,
are looking
nice.
pretty slick, dude. Almost noodly.
Yeah, real flexible. And so I'm happy with that.
Yeah. What did you get there?
It's $9. Um,
Oh, cool.
yeah, it's working great, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's like
Ye-
exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is an interesting package. I want to see what you got because that's a totally different color than the stuff that I had. I still don't remember the name of uh the LED stuff that I had before.
Well, JP, you turned me on to this. It's
Oh, yeah.
recently in the last month, and yeah, Injora flexible cuttable LED strip lights, 2 millimeter, $9, and I got a couple of yellows and a red. This
What
guy,
brand is that?
Injora,
ENJORA?
I
Yeah.
N.
INJ. Yeah.
Yeah, this blue one, I'm gonna wrap inside the 2S tiny racer and make it a Tron car.
Oh, dude, heck yeah. Yep, the flexible stuff. Let's see. Oh,
Yeah,
dude, that
nine.
stuff comes out looking so good. It is so similar to the stuff that I have too, but I like that maybe a little bit more because the negative and positive
Yeah.
are out of the same end.
Ah, right
The
on.
stuff that I have only comes in like industrial lengths. It's like
Hmm.
crazy long. Um, I think like 36 inches or something like that. And it is negative at one end and positive on the other, so you kind of have to plan it just right.
Mm. Yeah, this is super.
I like that, dude. 5 volt too?
It's right off the BEC. Yeah, I think that's totally
Freaking
5 volts right now.
awesome, awesome. Yeah, that was the other thing with mine is it only came in at I think like 24 volt.
Mm.
So I needed to use a boost regulator to get it working right.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, way better product
Hmm.
for our applications.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
Man, the voltages involved in this hobby are just it's crazy. Crazy.
It's so much nicer with cars. Oh my God,
Oh,
man.
really?
Oh,
Drones
it
are
is.
nasty.
Yeah, well, they used to be a lot worse, but yeah, for sure. They
Well,
definitely are.
speaking of voltages, we should talk about this two-way radio situation
Oh,
again.
yeah.
Did the tiniest bit of research with ChatGPT and found there's like some standalone boards with a coil on it. So that's possible.
Yeah, that'd be super neat to talk, like to like chat with people in your car. I was thinking about the whole like push to talk thing. Like, could you trigger the mic on your car from your transmitter so it's like I can push the button for you?
Servo.
Like you might
Yeah.
you might have to like write some instructions on your roof or chassis. you
I,
know.
I was thinking if you've got a servo, you could definitely reach down, like, let me see what I got here. I got this Quansheng radio. It's
Yeah, it's great.
funny name, but a super, super quality radio.
2 meter.
Um, this is a multi-band. It's a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, right
Probably,
on.
probably not supposed to be that, right? It's
In the
probably
use
not.
of
Yeah,
unlicensed people. All
yeah.
good.
So, yeah, I wanted some radio gear. After I think we talked about this before, but when Hurricane Milton hit, I was like,
Oh yeah.
man, I need to get a single radio that kind of does everything and just have it like my designated in case of emergency radio. Um,
So
and
like weather band and communication and what
even
else?
though you're not supposed to be able to get a single radio certified for all of those bands, there's definitely some angry hams out there, or whatever they're called, that
Got it.
aren't happy about radios like this. But at the end of the day, you know, it's serves its purpose. If I ever had an issue, it'd be the thing I'd probably have with me. So yeah. Um, but as far as like just hitting the push to talk with a servo, I
Mm,
feel like that's totally doable.
mm, mm. There's some. I mean, that sounds like. I mean, I'd wreck my shit, man. I'm too much of a basher.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
challenge
Also,
is always keeping it simple.
yeah, 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 exactly. Like, so having one of those little microphones that you put on a just 5.8 gigahertz rig would work pretty good. You'd be able to hear some stuff decent with that. But talking back, I don't know what you'd do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Yeah, it'd be
only
a little
attempt so
complex.
far has been this guy, and it's just a receiver, so it records, and then I'll capture the audio signal back because it just did MP4 file, and it dumps right into the computer. But then it's like I gotta it's like synchronize it because I want to hit the guns, on the.
Yep, yep, yep.
But I really want it live because there's a lot to throttle control when you're listening to your motor.
Mm, hmm.
Yeah, that's something that some really, really popular drone pilots, again, I bring up drones, but that's something that some drone pilots were really into was hearing the tone of the motors
No,
while they're flying.
it makes sense. I've never gotten the skills to where that kind of delicacy matters, but
Yeah.
watching the vids and hearing the motors totally makes sense. That's how they're riding it, and they are. I mean, there's some sweet flying out there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Um, yeah, I was kind of thinking if I was gonna actually say anything back to anybody that saw my car, maybe I don't need to say a whole lot. If I just had like my camera on a good pan and tilt servo, and I could just shake my head yes or
Mm,
no.
Yeah.
That's that's half of what I got. Or
Yeah.
maybe like Bumblebee, it just got a handful of radio stations. I just play
mm.
some samples from.
The TRX4 has a horn on it, and that gets most of my jobs done that I want to do.
Yeah, right. out of the way. Nice.
Yeah, totally. I can maybe pull it up. I did some crawler footage around the yard last few weeks ago. Not to. It's been. I haven't been out in the. I haven't been out playing in the streets lately though.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I've been seeing some, man, I've been a little like I've seen some stuff, people like doing some pretty crazy stuff with their cars lately. I've really wanted to get like a race going in a parking lot with a bunch of
Oh yeah,
people, like 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 3 or 4 people in a big parking lot race. That's still super high up on my gotta do ASAP list.
Mm.
So
Well, I'm booking summer plans at the moment. There's a PTO budget where I work, and want to spend some time on the Central Oregon coast because I got a little cabin I'm working on. But I could
heck yeah.
imagine a trip up to Seattle.
Dude, yeah. We'll just
It-
have to kidnap JP and then, we'll
That's
figure
about
that's the
something out.
halfway.
easiest way.
Yeah.
Maybe out toward some Kmart toward Anacortes.
Yeah. Just throw a little hook up north, and if he bites, just yank him on down. Just see if we can get
I'd love
some way
to.
to get everybody around here.
That'd be super fun.
I've got one buddy local that does this, like one and a half. I have one person that I'm almost positive won't show up, but I have my next door neighbor that I can guilt trip into coming around. What's Matt got
Yeah,
going?
This
I've
is
just been
the
racing line of sight people. Like
Yeah,
can't find anyone for. I actually crawled with a guy in FPV the other day.
oh, right on.
That was pretty good.
nice.
This is the TRX4 with the horn. I'm I'm visiting the neighbors.
Heck yeah, looking smooth out there.
The super scale suspension system, I put on a switch to reset from the controller because it would fail every 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh no.
Yeah. And so I also need to actually, one of my tasks is to adjust the splines on the servos on the left hand side because my body's crooked.
I was gonna ask about that, but I wasn't really sure if that was just maybe
It's an
the angle.
adjustment.
Gotcha, gotcha. It's so funny how certain things bug you in FPV that you
Hmm.
almost don't really notice line of sight ever. Ah,
Like
He's
the
got right.
chassis being on level.
Mm.
yeah, just
I had
slightly.
one. I had one truck that would torque twist like crazy. It's like, oh man, I just feel like totally off center with
Other than
this
like my dog.
car.
Let's see. You guys got any big projects you're working on right now?
Mm. Yes, I am working on. Okay, did I share that? Let me stop the share. How do I do that? Oh, here we go. Yeah, thanks, Jeff, for asking. This is Gen 1, this monster of a thing, which has been great. This was built for the sledge.
Nice.
Gen 2 is here, much more compact, works great. 3 axis.
Hey,
But I'm going to do a 2 axis gimbal version of this a little bit smaller with that VTX. So take that
nice.
thing apart and put it on the sledge, which would be great. So, and I mean, it's a great rig. Um,
Heck yeah, dude.
it was spent so much time on the workbench while I built this thing. I'm excited to just go race it.
Wow,
Yep.
what a beast!
That thing's looking beefy. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's totally fun. I got these huge packs, so this thing is ridiculous.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't know shit when I got started building this thing, and I like way oversized the batteries. But whatever,
That's yep, same thing I did, and I couldn't be happier, you know?
for sure. And then there's these carbon fiber panels, which like it felt really good to put them on. You see, it's maybe a little bit tough to see, but they functionally do nothing, but they look so cool.
Nice.
Again, it was like COVID. I need time on the workbench.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I'm looking around in my rigs. I've got nothing really big planned as far as builds go. Just hopes and dreams there. Got a bunch of videos planned that I need to get to work on, but no straightforward builds at the moment.
Screen time.
I
What
got
you
I got
integrate?
the other direction. Smallness.
Heck yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. JP with the open IPC right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's just figuring out and seeing if I can make it work for me. And then this was the plan to throw it on this guy.
Oh,
This is
no
like a
kidding.
WPL 128th, and on analog I can rip it around my house.
Yeah.
And I've been looking at body swaps for it. So I picked up this model
Nice.
kit,
Oh
124th.
wow.
Yeah, and it's like it's gonna line up pretty perfect. It's Ford Escort, so like a classic sort of rally
Yeah,
race
Okay.
car. But
much better.
yeah, it lines up pretty good. The wheel arches are a bit tight, so I might have to just,
Shave
Dremel
them a
them
little bit
out or get smaller tires or something. But
for
yeah,
sure.
generally it's working out good. And like it's an entire model kit, right? Like it comes with the interior, all the bits and pieces you could want to scale
Nice.
scale it out with. I mean, you know, like whoa. I look at,
Dude,
Tamaya makes RC cars, Tamaya makes plastic models. Why can't they, fuse those two? They make great Lexan bodies. I mean, it's really good.
yeah.
Maybe I'll figure out why in this process, like smash it into something on the first corner and like crack the body, but I don't know.
I went and
Hard
joined
bodies
the
are a thing.
I did that low C micro B Facebook group, and
Oh yeah.
those guys are just going to convince me to spend buckets of money on this tiny little car, man. But I'm all for it. I love the little micro racing. We're not going to get any good weather for another like 2 or 3 months, so.
Yeah.
How many of those guys are FPV? Or are you bringing?
Uh, Dude, like maybe one. I've seen like one. It's crazy. I feel like they're the perfect little rig, for
Mm.
uh, like a spec race, since they're
Hmm.
already like, there's
Start a
not
league.
that much you can do to them. Yeah, yeah. Throw some foam tires on them, and
Yeah.
and they're pretty much perfect. So,
Yeah, if we could standardize a track and get a software developer to create a forum for this and let you upload videos for your username, I mean, the community could take off like that. I think there's a missing racing league
yeah, yeah.
going on.
You know what we did with a similar, so where a lot of people got into FPV drones was this thing called a tiny whoop. And it's this
Mm.
tiny little 65 millimeter motor to motor drone that has ducks, like prop guards. Yeah,
Mm.
it's tiny. And we would find little tiny venues like a brewery or a bar and be like, hey, next Thursday night, we want to show up here and do a little drone race inside. And we'll just
Right.
section off this little part. And almost always they were like, hell yeah, dude, come on by, get drunk, and fly some drones inside. And that's exactly what would be awesome with these little micro RC cars, because you just need a flat floor and a few little cones and stuff and
Mm.
enough light, and
Sure.
you're fine.
Yeah, if we
Yeah.
could, I'm curious about the option of, well, anyway, what we do in the Mini Z Club is transponders with standardized tracks. And then
Oh, gotcha.
Right.
it's national points for a league.
Yep, yep, yep.
A little overkill, maybe.
No, we did well, yeah, we didn't do transponders on Tiny Whoops. The cool thing is you can get a signal tracker. So like 5.8 gigahertz, and then you're on different bands. And as you fly past this little receiver, it's like, okay, channel one did their lap in this much time. And so
Oh,
you
right
don't
on.
need a little, yeah, you don't need a, uh,
That
what do you
works.
call them? Yeah,
Transponders.
transponder. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
The Slash kit's on hold.
Yeah,
Low center of
I
gravity
can tell
kits.
you. Oh, sorry, Matt. I was
No,
just
go
gonna
ahead.
say this tiny car has like all the dynamics of like of my bigger ones for sure. Like it's super fun to drive around. I can chuck it into corners and get it going pretty good.
What model did you get? WL Toy
It's
something?
the yeah WL Toys. Um,
5-digit
it's
number.
the
Five. Yeah,
28
alphabets.
280140, something
Because of
like
their
that.
because of their supreme marketing department came up with that one.
Dude, they kill it every time on the name.
I
Oh
just
man, I just put a bunch of numbers or a bunch of and I swear I
Hmm.
got it. The
Yeah.
284161? No.
I just saw
The
it
Oh,
supposed to be out.
28 4 28 40 10. And
there
I
you go.
chose it
Found
because it has lights and they're actually pretty effective.
Nice, nice.
But
Dude, yeah,
yeah,
that
and
thing.
the remote it comes with was pretty okay. It's the red and black remote. And actually there's a phone holder because they're developing some sort of Wi-Fi camera for it.
Nice.
So they intend to FPV it, but like that Wi-Fi camera is going to be super laggy.
Oh, for
But
sure.
yeah,
Dude,
no,
this is a
it
really
works really
similar
good.
car. We got one just like this at the shop. I think it was brushless instead of brushed, but it is basically the same thing.
Yeah,
And
they've had several versions.
we had this issue with it where it would turn better left than it did right.
Oh,
Where,
weird.
yeah, and it was totally
Maybe the diffs. Maybe the
stock
diffs
right
are.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And we like it just wasn't as much fun as
Hmm.
the other cars that didn't have that issue, you know?
yeah. This one definitely had like some tight drivetrain out of the box. So it
Mhm.
like I wouldn't recommend it to beginners. Like it took some going over, but it sort of settled itself in and has been pretty fun. Like I don't worry about temps or anything. The motor gets pretty toasty, but I just charge it up and drive it. It goes for like 20 minutes, it runs pretty good.
Heck yeah.
So,
And do you use your DJI gogs for the receiver on it on that IP
no,
camera?
uh, no, that one's like I haven't really worked into anything yet. The little car is just on analog right now. So I just use my Sky Zone, Sky Zone gogs. And it's been, like the quality on the video is good enough for what I'm doing. It's a little hard to see some features, like the edges aren't very crisp on some things. So it's kind of a case of memorize the track and, look out for when people step in front of it. But it's like,
Just
I mean, it's great to keep in practice driving, it's great to keep the reactions up and, keep the visual skills up, looking for gaps and, you know, just not hitting stuff basically. So
you're not gonna
like
like
I've
seriously take out a
run
child when you bang into them with this.
no, no,
Like this
no,
will hurt somebody
no.
even if they're in a wheelchair or yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah.
very dangerous
Yeah.
racing in the driveway.
Yeah. It just doesn't have the mass to really hurt anything. So it's pretty squishy on the front end. I've crashed into all sorts of stuff, like everything I could crash into, it's been crashed into. Walls, chairs,
When we
it's
first
done
started
really
our
well.
little when we started our office FPV race session, we always used the Emax Interceptor. It was this tiny
Oh
little
yeah.
junk car, but it was fun. And man, we drove that thing off of the first story, like balcony, and it hit the ground and just obliterated 1,000 pieces. And we were like, okay, sweet, we got parts for our other one now. So we just scavenged all the crap off the floor, and yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, this one was $90, delivered right to my door. So not really, wasn't too much to think about. And like I've already gotten my value out of it, I'd say. Like I've
yep.
driven the heck out of this thing already.
How do you
That's
feel about the is it like a copper chassis? I'm looking at it. It's looks like a copper bottom.
It's
Oh,
just like aluminum. It's just like
oh yeah,
colored.
that's
Some
not bad.
crazy
I
color.
gotcha. Nice,
I just put
nice.
a little piece of tape at the front to protect my floors.
Ah,
That's all. And I've got like hardwood floors all throughout the house, so I kind of have to like avoid some of the carpets we got, but I can like run it out to the bedrooms and back. I paced it out, and I think it's like a 40-meter track I can run
Nice.
inside the house. And then, so because I'm a map nerd, I sort of roughly digitized it in my house, and then I blew the track up. Like I scaled it up 28 times. I was like, what does this look like at full scale? And it's like similar to a small motorsports track, nothing huge.
You
So,
definitely get the badge for being the biggest nerd tonight.
dude, yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh,
I love that you scaled it by the correct amount too. You're like, okay, this is 124 scale car. I gotta scale it by this. That's
well,
cool.
I've been taking like race courses from around the world, digitizing them, and then scaling them down to see
Oh,
what a
If it would
proper
work
race
like
course
that.
would look like for this
super. Well,
size of car.
I mean, upload the route. So maybe I can mimic it and we can do like virtual time trials or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You ever
They're
do
pretty.
simulator racing, JP? I forget if we talked about this before.
I want to, like, I
Yeah,
want to replace my laptop and start doing that. You
yeah.
know, get a little
I
Richard Burns rally or something going on.
I loved sim racing for such a long time. I did I think it was Gran Turismo 4 or 5, but I have
Mm.
like I don't know how many hundreds of hours on that. Like I did so many insane races. I was online with people doing the um 24 hours of Le Mans. I did the
Oh man.
Nürburgring for 24 hours. Like,
Whoa.
oh yeah, man, it was nuts back in the day. Before kids and wife, dude. Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
God. I lived
Yeah.
on that simulator. I had a Logitech
I think
G25. It's
oh
crappy
yeah.
little wheel, but it was fine. It was fine. Yeah.
It's better than a controller. I
Oh,
spent like all of a Christmas break playing Gran Turismo, I think one or two at some point.
nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I mean, the controllers, if you're trying to win, are like far superior to the wheel. But at the end of the day, like, man, I don't even want to play with the controller anymore. It's not nearly as fun.
Yeah, no, I'd be getting a wheel for sure.
I would like to
There
do
we
some
go.
rally. They didn't really have any rally stuff. So,
Yeah, well, there's EA just did like WRC 24, which should be pretty sweet. And oh, I got into my config, so I'm all distracted now.
Yes, we have
oh,
a
dude, I got so much going on tonight too.
4 minute time check.
Oh, yeah. These guys are pretty smart. This project is kind of bogged down by the pace it developed at. Like it's come from, uh, it's just developed so quickly. It came from like OpenHD and now it's called OpenIPC. And
See,
yeah, so the documentation is kind of all over the place, but
yeah, non-branded
it just
hardware.
means, yeah, you just got to really focus at, the most recent stuff, I guess.
What's the
Yeah.
application that's configuring? I mean, how'd you get that?
It's all on like their GitHub for
Oh, sweet.
OpenIPC.
Yeah, right on.
So like
Perfect.
some of the more recent videos and like actually the runcam documentation's pretty
And
good
it's
that come with their cameras.
digital camera.
Yeah, yeah, it's an HD. It's like 1080p.
Yeah. I wonder if it's possible to get that in the DJI gogs or the Fat Sharks or whatever.
DJI doesn't have any
Input.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Fat Sharks almost, I mean, all the HDOs are going to have a HDMI mini port or micro port or whatever. So a lot of the Fat Sharks will have it. Um,
And then you
my
that
just
would
Sky
definitely,
Zones have HDMI in.
they
You
do
know,
too.
like DJI, like this is simple stuff. Like we had this all along, like it costs you 5 cents to add this on,
That's marketing.
like it's nothing, you know.
It's so funny. It's not even about the cost to add it in. It's like the Nintendo concept, right? It's like, okay, but what if somebody uses this with a different video system and they didn't
Mm,
buy my video transmitter? It's like
hmm
they
Is
don't
that
even
okay?
realize that people will buy their goggles to use it with other stuff. They're selling more goggles. Like, isn't
mm,
that what you want?
hmm Yeah.
Like there wouldn't be a loss in sale. I mean, some bean counter out there is like, I think there will be a loss in sale of drones because they could use it with another system, but that's not how it would work at all. It would just be an even more popular system. I agree. They could do it in software too. They don't actually have to do it with an HDMI plug. They could do it with a USB-C input.
Right.
And you can do
Yeah.
USB-C and HDMI. So
And they
it's
have a USB-C. Well, yeah, they have a USB-C.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
like not the power.
No, it's the power. Oh no, it's not. It's not because it plugs right into my
I'm
iPhone.
I'm all just thinking about uh the goggles too. Or the goggles. Yeah, see now like the names. Yeah, the names.
Oh no.
You gotta just memorize their whole thing.
It's have you heard how to make it easy?
Do tell.
It's okay, yeah, give us the rundown.
And we're
Okay, tell me if you think this is easier or if the original naming is easier. I think there's the version one, the V1, the V2,
20 seconds.
the G1, the G2, okay, and the G3. So people get confused with the goggles V2 and the goggles 2. That's where the big confusion
Hmm.
happens. But if you call them the V1, V2, the G2, and the
Uh,
G3, then you kind of skip over putting the word goggles in there because I mean, we
yeah.
don't call them the Fat Shark goggles HDO. They're the Fat Shark HDOs, the HDO2s, the blah blah blah. So we just need a designation that's kind of skips over that.